As you know, we always like to talk to local filmmakers here in the Detroit area who are doing big things and getting it out all over the world. This guy and I have been friends for a long time. Sam Logan, how are you, sir?
Hey, how are you? I'm good to be here. Listen, you're one of my favorite fellow Detroiters, so this is fun.
And you too. And
I was just telling everybody how much I love your set design behind it. You got all of the Darth Vader, the Batman mask, and everything. You're pure cinema, and you got Audrey Hepburn. So
there you go, and Charlie Chaplin over there. Everybody. Now, I got to ask you, you've got a brand new movie out called An Intrusion.
Yes.
And it's funny because, you'd ask me, hey, check this thing out and let me know what you think. And so, a lot of times you put a movie on, you're going by the title, you're like, okay, I wonder what this thing's going to be about. I really got pulled into it because it's just one of those where it's a different type of intrusion, as far as what's going on. Talk a little bit about the film for everybody.
Well, you hit it on the spot there. I think, the title has multiple meanings to it. And I shout out to Nick Holland. I produced the picture. I'm in the movie. But Nick, Nick Holland, who's the writer and the director, I mean, he just crafted such an awesome script, and that has all these layers. So, it's not your general home invasion thriller where there's like a single home invasion that people are kind of navigating. It's that this main character's life, the patriarch of the film, and I play his brother, Chris, and one of the potential suspects of the chaos happening in his life, played by Dustin Prince, who did a phenomenal job, and Mike Emery and Jaime Zavalos. Oh my God, the whole cast, by the way. But Billy Boyd and Keira Gilchrist, Scout Taylor Compton. What a wonderful team of people to work with who came aboard. But to your question, I think there's multiple. It's the intrusion concept is both philosophical but also physical. So there's the house break-ins, and he's sort of getting threatened at work, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he made some really bad choices, and now these choices of the past are coming back to haunt him in multiple forms, multiple mediums, just all over the board. So it's a thrill. It's an edge of your seat ride, I think. So
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, yeah, it is not that, when I say cut and dry, where it's like, okay, this happened because you did this, and now we just have to sit for 90 minutes to see if this person catches you. Right. There are so many different, like you said, layers where you're going, okay, I thought this. And I like those type of movies where I think this, but it's this, good.
Yeah. It's, it was fun. It was fun playing that part. There's a scene where, I portray the brother-in-law in the film. And there's one particular scene with myself and Dustin and Erica and Madison Merland, who plays my wife. And it's like two couples, the couple across the table from you, and then the couple behind the table. Everyone keeps asking where we shot that scene. That was actually shot at Charlie's Still on Main in Milford, Michigan. So we shot all locally. This thing is pure Michigan. So, we're as we're filming that scene, Nick and I had a discussion about it where my character with Madison, our marriage is, for the people who've seen the movie or you're going to see the movie, the way we talk in our relationship is very jarring. Mm-hmm. It's very jocular, and at the same time, and it can be also jovial. It can be funny. It can be, but it's very. Sometimes some people might view it as alarming, like, oh, these guys, look at, the kind of couple where you kind of attack each other, but in a fun way, mm-hmm. And he's kind of a jerk, and he's not you might think he's not a nice guy, but and on the other end, Dustin's character, again, who plays the film's patriarch, and Eric, of course, who's the matriarch of the film, they're so dry cut, very clean, very crisp, very well composed in the way they present themselves as a couple, but their marriage is horrible. So that was kind of the juxtapose of how, we're kind of crazy and messy, but the marriage, and that's one of I love that scene with how, and most people will have to see the movie to see the scene I'm referring to, but I think you saw the movie, right? So
I saw the movie.
That's like a perfect example of every scene in this movie has these sort of thematic meanings that it's like a bunch of little one acts that are kind of put together. And I mean, it could evolve if it wasn't for so many locations, this thing could almost have been this stage play of, and so I as an actor, I really kind of got into that. So yeah, but you liked it, so I'm glad. So.
I did like it. There, and it's fresh in my mind because I watched it this morning, just so it would be fresh. So
an intrusion in the morning. There you go.
Right. What a way to start the day.
a cup of coffee and a thriller.
Here's to you.
Carry on. I like that. Yeah, you were just in England, weren't you?
Oh wow. Well, it was over a year ago,
Oh,
but yeah,
I went to school there, so amongst my many, I also went to Guildhall. So shout out to all my Guildhall folk in London. Yeah.
love that place.
But,
and my
there, and Western Wildcats, so all of you, so everybody.
I said
every alma mater, I love you all.
Shoot a movie there, I'll go. And then
yeah, well, I would love it. I want you to cameo in the next movie because we were joking about this because our mutual friend Jason. I was like, hey, we gotta get Jason in this thing, and I'm like, well, we can also get Greg in this thing, and maybe we just get a bunch of I'll get all the media guys. It'd be like the Justice League or like the Avengers level event where you get all the media people in one sequence. That's kind of like
that would be fun. I also have to ask you, you have done how many movies now altogether?
I really don't. I mean, see, it's hard to tell because I think was a producer. Four or five features, because I also produced. I was a producer on Animus, Approaching Midnight, which was my first film that I did. It was myself, Janet Kramer, Brandon T. Jackson, Mia Serafino. That was my first film ever. In 2013, came out, kind of resurrecting itself. Now people are like talking about it online. It's funny, like a decade later, now people are talking about a movie that kind of catches on.
There you go.
Last year did another horror film with me and Nate Mathers, Eminem's brother. A lot of people know, in sort of in our region, and that was really fun. And then some of the same folks, and because this was very law enforcement heavy. So yeah, this was so now an Intrusion. Yeah, but as an actor, I think I've been in a small parts here and there.
Alfred Hitchcock in your movies just walk through sometimes.
Yeah, I still collect the royalty checks. It's fun from the Screen Actors Guild. Shout out to the Guild for my one little part. It's funny because a lot of people were like, I think I saw your name in the Batman vs Superman credits at the end.
Huh?
It was right between Jason Momoa, and Kevin Costner. I was like, yeah. It was a little featured role in there. So those are fun. It's funny how sometimes you can make more money on those, but these we do for the passion.
Right.
But again, an Intrusion was, this again, just such an awesome cast, awesome team. It just fantastic, brilliant team. So,
and like you said, Michigan-made film.
Yeah.
And it's out now in theaters. Tell people, not just here in Detroit, but where they can see it.
Yeah, it was playing in theaters. I think we're just kind of starting to come out. There's some theaters across the country that is still. It was playing in its regular run. So I had friends kind of text me pictures of themselves on Sunset Boulevard. At the Cinema Lounge. Hey, we're at the Cinema Lounge and your movie's here. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. That's the cool thing. When your movie is out. This was our first film that kind of really got that kind of theatrical deal. So as a producer on the film, I'm very proud of that. To be in that position where it's like, hey, if you're in Dallas or Houston or Los Angeles, you can watch the movie. You were in Detroit. I know folks were texting me, we're at the Imagine and we're watching the movie. But it's now, it was day and date. So the shift focus I know has become digital because that's kind of the new model for a lot of movies.
Right.
So an Intrusion is available on Amazon, Walmart.com, Vudu, Fandango, iTunes, whatever medium that you might use. And as well, the DVD and Blu-ray will be released soon in January 25th. Will be the DVD release date. But if you want a physical copy, but if you can't wait, Amazon, iTunes, however you might, so yeah.
Well, even though I've got, the copy that you sent me, heck, who knows? I'm
going to send you a signed copy. We'll get you
great.
Well, this was a brilliant, like I said, everyone did such an amazing job. I was such a fan of Kira Gilchrist. Mm-hmm. So the Atypical is such an amazing show. Mm-hmm. You've got Scout Taylor Compton who I will always associate with, because I'm a horror movie fanatic, the Halloween franchise, and she was also in Nashville, which was one of my favorite TV shows. As you know, I came out of producing and directing a lot of country music videos, so I loved her in Nashville. That was one of my favorite shows on ABC at the time, and that was there. And then of course Billy, we reached out to, and we didn't know if he'd say it. We were just kind of, let's just reach out, see if.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, I'm like, I can't believe it. You know, I'm like, so a shout out to all those thespians, because we look up to them and we're such huge fans of theirs. And to be in a position where you're working with these people both behind the camera and even on camera, and some, you know, there's a small scene I did with Billy, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, you know, I was in a movie theater watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You know, I remember when I bought all 3 tickets for the re-release, and now here I am doing a scene with Pippin. You know, I mean, that's kind of like a huge thing for me. And he was such what a gentleman. All of them, by the way, class A, just Kier, Scott, all the folks that came out from out west. I mean, what amazing people, truly amazing artists, but also amazing people. They were just such good people. They enjoyed Detroit. We kind of toured them around and got to show them the city downtown and everything, you know. So
love that. Well, Sam, as always, thank you so much. And as you already know, whatever the next thing is, we'll have you back.
Awesome. All right. And Intrusion, everybody get out there on Amazon, iTunes, and DVD January 25th. And hopefully you like it and review well, and keep watching Movie Show Plus with Greg Russell. We love you.
Love you too. Thanks so much. And we'll be back with more. And there we go.
Hopefully that was well. Yeah.
Yeah.